Hey,
Chester,
thanks
you
for
there?
having me in. Good to see you again, Tony.
Good, how are you?
Not so bad. What about you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Just
All
getting
right.
started here.
Yeah.
Yep, it's Friday.
I don't know if you remember this. Remember how I told you I've followed you for a long time?
Oh, I
Not necessarily.
gotta be honest with you, man. Yeah, I'm on these lives a lot, so I
Yeah,
wish
no
I
worries. Anyhow, um, you were one of the first guys I saw go live, and at this point, there
Oh, I
was not.
remember you now. That's right, I remember now.
Okay,
Takes me a
very good.
second.
Just a memory I'd like to share. I'm wondering if it's one we have in common.
Sure, yeah.
Very early on in the live TikTok game, I'm just kind of scrolling through. I think this is when I first came across you, so to speak. Well, not so to speak. I don't want to put it that way. But anyhow, I see you on live here. You're interacting with someone else who has gone live. And kind of their thing is they're a psychic. And I don't know if you remember this, but so there's
No.
someone claiming to be a psychic is live with you. I'm observing it in the comments, and I think I'm the only one there. So it's just you, the psychic, and me in the comments.
Okay.
And unfortunately for the psychic, I mean, they did a fair job, honestly, but it was just hilarious. Like every kind of general question that they asked was just completely opposite to your honest answer to it. So they were,
You know
I
what?
don't.
I actually think there is something like that ringing a bell. This must have been years ago, right?
Oh yeah, it was like I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. It was so funny.
You know what? I remember that now. I do. Man, it's weird how
Are
these
you a
memories.
single are you an only child, or do you come from a large family? Because whatever they
It's
predicted the
actually,
exact.
well, both actually. I'm an only child. I have a large
Oh,
family.
okay. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure this said something like, I can see you have a lot of brothers and sisters, and you just kind of
That's right.
chuckled
I
and
do remember that now.
you're
Yeah.
like, no, I'm an only child, and then they're like, okay, I see that now. Um,
Oh, that's funny. I hope this site doesn't go away. I'm gonna miss those
Yeah, it
memories.
was funny. Yeah, it went on and on. I don't know what else. There's something about, um,
Yeah. I've been active, more active at times than others, that's for sure.
yeah,
But, well, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, that was a fun little trip down memory lane.
yeah. Well, it's in my memory too. So thanks for putting it there.
Yeah, sure.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think TikTok has kind of kept us a lot of us sane over the last 5 years. So we'll
Well,
see. I don't think it's going anywhere. We have, I think this deal seems to be working out. I don't know what the algorithm's going to look like, what the censorship will look like. I imagine though it can't be any worse than Facebook or YouTube at this point. So
do you think it's been a net positive though? I mean, perhaps for you or for I or for any individual, maybe it's been kept us sane, as you say. But what do you
uh,
think?
net positive overall. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess it's person to person. Obviously, it's different for if you're if you do suffer with like addiction issues, the this doom scrolling and sort of endless TikToking, I think can be pretty damaging. I
What
think
about
it's
just the way that it might amplify, you know, things that aren't things that aren't reflective of reality necessarily,
yeah, definitely in terms of like outrage for sure. Um,
just like any other social media app might do. But
yeah, yeah, I think I
the
always
this
say that too. Like
algorithm, to me,
I always
seems
say
to
that.
go.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I always say that like the videos I like making the most are the ones that get seen the least because it's the algorithm just doesn't work. I like to do more of sort of the educational kind of slow teaching type videos, and
Yeah.
sometimes they do well if the topic is relevant and whatnot. But like most of the time people just want to see that quick stuff. That's you
Yep.
know, but,
Yep. And
but
and
I did
honestly,
see
even
that
if it hits
thing a
your
little
target audience, like say it's someone like me who's has kind of followed you for years, has love the fact I kind of know your background, really into it. if there was one of your videos that came across my feed where you're kind of, talking for a couple minutes
Mhm.
and, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what people need to hear. I might get 40 seconds into it and be like, yep, that's what people need to hear. Swipe. You know what I mean?
Right.
I
Right.
might not even finish it. It's crazy.
No, I mean
So,
that's probably the case for
unfortunately,
most people. Yeah, it's although I have seen a trend more towards long form content. I know this app is trying to be a little bit more like YouTube. So maybe that's a good sign. There's not as many 7-second videos now. It's more, 1 to 2 minute stuff that you usually get, but I don't know. What else? But that being said, when it is a very relevant topic, no matter how long it is,
yeah.
if you get the right hook, you can get it to go. But who knows? Yeah, it's interesting to see who does well, who doesn't. It's a wild algorithm. But yeah, I've actually been trying to. YouTube is like so slow. I've been trying to grow on YouTube for a long time, and I think I'm at like 1,200 followers or subscribers or something like that. But it's just such a slow grind. But I am having some success on like Blue Sky. I've had some success on Clapper. So I mean, there's a few other options out there, but
What do you do on YouTube? Is it kind of the same stuff you do here, just a little bit longer form, or
same stuff. Yeah, I usually do
same
put the
stuff?
lives up there just to have like that's where I put the full live.
Yeah.
We can't put that on TikTok, but just depends on the live though. If it's relatively boring one, I'm not throwing it up there, but it's got some value.
Um,
Who's typing here? It's my type. I might type. I don't know. He thinks you're a stalker for some reason.
who me? Who me?
I don't know. He's like a. You just are you a, oh hi my type. He's just been following me a long time. Chill out. No biggie. People are weird.
Oh,
Actually,
I also have a very good memory, and so that also makes me seem like a stalker.
yeah, I don't think that at all. I should make you a moderator though if you're here a lot. Would you be interested in being a moderator at all?
No one's ever offered me that before. What's that going to entail?
It's just whenever you're here and you see comments that are like atrocious, just delete them and maybe ban the person if it gets really bad. It's a troll or they're just posting, Nazi stuff or something like that. Um, I don't
Oh,
go too crazy, but yeah, it's just when you're here. If you're here, you can. There's a few moderators. Jenna moderates for me the most. She does a great job, but it can be a lot of work sometimes if I get a live that does, get into the hundreds. But
I think we're headed there.
we'll see. We'll see. Maybe
I think we are. I
you
really
just
think
never
we
know.
are.
It's you never know with these things. Sometimes I'll sit at 7 for a whole night, and sometimes I'll be at 300.
Oh, we're gonna take off. I can promise you that much. I've got a
It's
fair amount of followers myself. Have you looked? I mean, look into me.
Am I not
You know,
following? Oh, now I'm following. Was I not following you? That was weird.
I'd be
Yeah, I'm
surprised
following
if
you.
you weren't. You were, right?
I wasn't. Now I am though.
Really? Oh, welcome
I
aboard.
yeah, happens every now and again.
Yeah.
I was actually, it's
Rarely,
interesting.
every once in a while. But
I was making comments yesterday. And this has happened to me a few times, and like half of my comments just were disappearing after I typed them. I'd go back in, I'd clear my cache, nothing there. So I don't know.
I think that was China or
Maybe.
what's
Maybe.
hey, put your conspiracy hat on. Do we really want TikTok to be handed over to who's it going to be handed over to here in the United States? What's the
Oracle. Yeah, I
rumor?
don't think I honestly don't think a whole lot's gonna change. Uh,
Well, you think
because
the algorithm's
Oracle,
going to change?
the algorithm might change, yeah, but the Oracle was already managing all the data. Like, yeah, everything was running through Oracle already, and so I don't
Okay.
see like because they had that what was it called, the Texas plan or something like that a while back.
Oh,
Um,
Texas Instruments. Talking about the
no, no,
TI-83.
no. They have Oracle. I think it's based. It has a big data center or something in Texas, and they were running all of the TikTok data through Oracle so that they can make sure there are no Chinese bots or anything like that. So I don't see a whole lot changing. I think the ownership structure will change, and then I think Trump will put a heavier hand on Ellison. But although I just read an article though that Oracle's kind of pissing Trump right now for announcing things too early. So I don't know. We'll
Did
see
they
what
do
happens.
anything with the algorithm?
Who knows? Hey,
I'm
Island,
saying.
how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah, did they change the algorithm?
I don't know. I mean, they're always obviously changing the algorithm, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But you know, the way this is set up is that this is a Chinese product, and this is set
Yeah.
up to pit Americans against Americans, so we can tear ourselves, this country apart from the inside. You know, this was the intent.
I mean, I
This
don't think that's
platform.
unique to. I don't think that's unique to TikTok.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Have you been on Facebook these days?
I mean, well, the other platforms is it's all about money. What gets the most clicks and views or whatever, you know, the
Same
things
here.
that generate the most controversy. Obviously, gonna get more attention, more clicks, more views.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the Chinese government. I don't like the Chinese government's eyes, but I don't like the American government. I don't like the American government's eyes. I don't see much of a difference at this point. I used to, but not anymore.
Fortunately, money talks. You know what I'm saying? Money
We
rules.
need a non-profit social media.
There you go. There you go. Now
No,
you're
I'm
talking.
actually like I'm pretty happy with what's going on with Blue Sky and this AT protocol. I think we just got to get more people over there because like Skylight, there's some others building off of it, and it's pretty flexible. It's not algorithm based. There is an algorithm, but it's not like right in your face.
Yeah, but
Uh,
how are you going to get anyone other than I hate to say it, libtards to go over to Blue Sky? You know what I mean?
you follow me and you're calling people.
What is a libtard, man? What are you talking about? What's a libtard? That's
I'm describing myself here, but honest, I'm being completely honest. How do you expect? Uh, who's gonna sign up for Blue Sky? It's the
They got
alternative to.
they're at 40 million people right now. So
Well, I know, but
just a
I mean,
start.
aren't we
Yeah, I
just?
think
Isn't that
they
just?
started with progressives because of what happened with X, and that's kind of like that was a big exodus. But they move on to the next, and then now they're targeting. I think it's up to us too to get people over there. It's a good platform for us to be able to like have a relatively normal flow of information. But
yeah. I agree. It's not going to happen here.
yeah.
Normal a
I won't be
dialogue.
leaving here, but I'll also be everywhere else. I used to like I got off X. I'm still off of Instagram and Facebook just because I just don't like it over there. But I also I think now we're at the point where we can't really boycott apps anymore because they're all bad and nobody will hear us if we just keep boycotting apps. So fortunately, we just kind of got to grin and bear it, I guess.
Well, I think all social media is just a cesspool of just you know negative emotions. Just go outside and talk to people,
I
man.
mean, yeah, of course, but there's also good things. I mean, I've met some good people here, like J
Yeah,
Mac who came in.
I
So
agree.
What's going on, Mr.
another
Tony?
guy who I've known for years on this thing.
Yeah.
Man, how you doing, man?
Good, good. It's been a while.
Yeah, man. Hey, have you seen that movie by any chance? One Battle After Another?
I had. Oh no, I haven't seen that. No, I've heard it's good though.
Yeah, you gotta check it out. God, it's so appropriate for today's times, man. It's almost like taking off the headlines. You know how they talk about Antifa
Yeah,
being like this organization, and there is no actual like organization. Well, this movie is like if there was, and how would that look like? And part of that movie says Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction as like the code. So like if you say those phrases, you're in like the club. It's like a secret handshake, secret code. It's very interesting, man. I recommend it.
huh? Interesting. I think we're all going to be Antifa sooner or later, whether we like it or not. Unfortunately. So,
But this is like really organized.
start looking at books.
Imagine if there was. Imagine if like if all these guys that are trying to do all this crazy stuff, if there was some kind of organization that was doing sleeper cells here in the United States, like it's kind of radical. It's kind of crazy.
Interesting. What are you doing, Jordan?
Good, man. Oh my goodness. This is like a breath of fresh air. People who are, I felt like I found some open-minded folks because at the end of the day,
Palmer around
I look
here.
at it like, yeah, I look at it like this. Obviously, you can see my profile picture, right? So I was a Democrat, the
What do you
first, I'm
mean? We can
37,
see
so I was
your obviously we can see your profile picture. You're a Democrat.
listen,
Why you went to
okay,
the
everybody
ocean?
likes,
So obviously you're a
relax.
Democrat. What do you
No, I'm
mean?
saying,
Let's judge a
I
book by
said
its cover.
I was. See, look. See the guy at the top? He don't even want to hear me. I just started talking. I said I was a Democrat for 30 years. I'm 37 years old. Let me finish,
Go
okay?
for it.
And then I voted for Trump in 2020 for the 2020 election. And then now I regret that decision. Now I voted for Trump as a Hail Mary, okay? I said obviously I was a Democrat because
Because
you don't nobody no you, it's cool it's okay to be black unless you are black with conservative views, right? So I've noticed how people have treated me, my family, just period, and in daily life, if you keep it honest with them, you know.
Are you
But
conservative
then,
now, or did you abandon that when you left
well,
Trump?
I have a whole completely different view now because obviously, we all know that there's no government in history of the world that's ever put the people over themselves. Over the politicians put the people over themselves, and we know this, actively know it, but we still go hard for one side or the other. And Trump kind of disappointed me because every you know he just reminded me of the same old, same old. He would not. He's not. To me, he's not the end of democracy and all that crazy crap that everybody be talking about. But he's just a normal politician. I mean, he came in there saying what he was going to say and didn't do shit that really what he was going to do
That's
when he got in
a
there.
normal politician.
Somebody who just makes you promises, and they don't fulfill on the promises.
a
Like,
lot,
and
a
this
lot of
is
terrible
what
takes, one after the other, Jordan.
third 30
I mean,
after
I would
37
agree.
years of life. After 37 years of life, seeing a few presidents, okay, because the earliest presidents I remember, I was in seventh grade in 2001
Yeah.
for the beginning of that 20-year war. Um,
Who was the president then?
and that was Bush in 2001, and then Obama for the next 8 years after that, and then I believe it was Trump, and then Biden, and then we're in 2020 now. But that was the whole year. That was the years. Remember, George Bush don't like black people, Kanye West stuff. You know what I mean? I was in seventh grade then, so I seen, and I love history. It's my favorite subject.
Hmm.
And all the politicians, even the new ones. Like, I like Trump because he talked like a regular person. He seemed like a regular dude. We all knew him. From being an American figure in real estate and hotels and all that crap. But
What
he
makes you
just proved
think,
to me that
in
he was
terms of
enough.
just in terms of talking, just the way he talks? You mean just because he's like New York locker room talk kind of?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm from West Philly, so I'm an East Coast kid. So I'm like, they like
I
Trump
only
talks
ask that
like this.
because
I
I
was like,
think
no, we talk like this.
I only ask that because I think like in California, like that way of talking comes off as really obnoxious because
Oh, I
we're
understand.
very we're slow and chill out here, right? Like it's just a different mindset.
Yeah, I
And I have a
completely
lot. I'm
understand
Italian, so I get a lot of family that talk the same way, and I still get sometimes a little bit
that.
annoyed. But I think I get it to a large extent. I think that's actually the mistake that Gavin Newsom is making right now by making fun of him, because I think it riles up the base what he's doing, but it just plays right into the stereotype of elitist Democrats making fun of your everyday Joe, right?
Correct. Correct.
And unfortunately, it just plays right into that narrative. And so I think I always say that everybody knows I hate Gavin, but he's in it for himself.
Well,
He's not Trump. I would much rather prefer him as president to Trump, that's for sure. But
I mean,
I
I,
I I,
I
go
agree
ahead,
for
go
the
ahead, Chris.
question. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I just feel like this. It's like this. I heard something recently, and it really opened my eyes. Somebody was like, "Listen, you put red ants, you put black ants in a jar, they're gonna be chilling. And then if you shake that jar up and you toss it on the ground, they're gonna battle it out. They don't know why they're battling, but at the end of the day, nobody's asking the real question: who shook up the fucking jar in the first place? And and I
I
really
don't
just believe
disagree, but I do think that
what
they're
no matter what side I feel like this, no matter what side you vote for, at the end of the day, the Democrats want you to think that everybody, we're all oppressed, I'm a slave, everybody, we're going to get back in the chains. The Republicans have their own strategy, but at the end of the day, they all want to F over the people. It's a double-sided
But,
dildo,
are you seeing though,
in my opinion.
that's where I would push
So,
back a little bit because I think, yes, of course, both parties have been corrupt in the past. Both parties are, done horrible things. Blah blah blah. We all know that, right? But we are talking about fascism now. The other night I went through the 7 tenets of fascism, and that's what we're looking at now. And if you look at like what's happening in DC, for instance, if you look at like the lynchings that are happening in the South based on like the motivation from Trump's rhetoric. If you look at the ICE kidnappings, 1,200 people missing. You look at all the issues with our scientists and medical personnel being laid off from the federal government, complete purge of our military, our generals, anybody
I agree.
any black general was fired just for being black. Like this is another level than what you would get from a Gavin Newsom or something. As corrupt as Gavin Newsom is, he's nowhere near right now.
I feel like that if I feel like not necessarily they might not got laid off because they was black, but if I was to go into office as the president of the United States,
They
no
said
matter what you
DEI is
is,
why they're firing him. So
yeah, I have to get you. I have to get the people that's most likely going to align with me. And if you was in there already, I mean, I don't. We don't know the ins and outs. We don't know who. He's rubbed shoulders with all those people since the 80s. You know what I mean? He was a Democrat at one point in time. They all was Democrats, and they go
yeah,
back and
yeah,
forth
of course.
and things
I'm
of that
not
nature.
doubting.
Like,
I'm
you
not
know,
arguing with you about the corruption on both sides. Although
yeah.
right now,
It's a little bit
previous to this
more
administration, but like when you're
right,
looking at this
right.
particular administration, right? Like for instance, Trump's already
hmm
made something like what we know about $3 billion on cryptocurrency while
Mm.
he's president. People literally paying him off for doing things. They've given him free airplanes. Like it's the corruption is a completely different level than anything we've ever seen before. I mean, you have
Oh,
to.
oh, and I'm with you, and I'm not even gonna dispute any of that because I just felt like everybody was like, so what's the solution? And I'm just like, you know what I think the solution is? I think the solution is that has anybody ever watched Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are the people. Listen, if this was Middle Ages, Europe, we would be the peasants. You know what I mean? Like this is like nobody gives a damn about the peasants. I feel like that everybody, and I'm sorry to say this if you get offended, the
Okay.
KKK, the Proud Boys, the Black Panthers, the Black Lives Matter, all the groups that is against each other. We need
You
to
can't
hold a
compare the.
timeout.
Oh well, hold
We
on,
need to
hold
hold a
on.
time.
You can't
We
compare
got
Black
we.
Lives Matter to KKK. That's ridiculous.
Oh no, 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 no! I'm saying it's the groups that are against each other. Like so if
Yeah,
the
but to say
extremes of
like,
each
oh,
group
the
and
KKK and Black Lives Matter, or the Black Panthers and but like
all right, so
BLM
I
and
think you're
Black
taking it
Panthers are not
too
the
too
same book
This
as.
guy
so
just
so
said
you
Black
so
Lives
no no
Matter and the KKK.
so you're missing the overall point is what I'm trying to say. I'm
Two
not trying to
way
go into
different
I'm not
organizations.
disputing any of what you're saying about those groups. I'm saying that everybody needs to put their beefs on timeout because we got White Walkers to fight, and that's the government. Okay, we forgot about the
Sure.
money. We
Really,
forgot
White
about the
Walkers?
money.
Why do you
I'm
call them
all for
White
it, right?
Walkers,
But right
dude?
now the government is run by one man, so you know,
I don't believe that. I don't believe it's run by one man.
You
I
kidding
believe
me?
that.
You're an idiot,
I mean,
dude.
I mean, okay.
Dude,
So
when you call them White
if I'm an
Walkers,
idiot, so
okay.
let me tell. Can I tell you this? Can I tell you
So
this?
what?
Can
we're
I
not
tell
going
you
to do
this?
So
personal
why do you
insults.
call them White
And if
Walkers?
I'm wrong,
Why do you call them White Walkers?
if I'm wrong, tell me this. Then So you telling me that people who donate 400, up to 500, maybe even $600 million to them campaigns, you don't think they really run this shit? Or
Oh
what are
my
you
Not
God,
talking
anymore.
about?
dude!
Not anymore.
Who?
So
You
I
don't
mean,
really.
Trump.
What are you talking
Democrats
about?
are donating all that money to Antifa and all these organizations. That is everything wrong about this country, dude.
I mean, Antifa's not
I
normal.
just, I just feel
Antifa
like if you,
is
if you,
finally been labeled as a terrorist organization in this country,
It's
and
not a.
Trump's going to
It's
hold
not
it
an
accountable.
organization.
Big whoop.
It's not an.
listen, listen, they could be labeled terrorists. Listen,
Black Lives Matter is
whatever
going to
side
be
could be.
labeled as a terrorist organization.
Yeah, they're labeled a terrorist organization too. Guess what? You
Okay,
know, when you play the politics game, you got analysts and
so
strategists that
so what if
put
we
narratives out.
what
So
if
who
we
we know?
started an
How will
organization?
we
We're in
know
a
if it's
different
right or
time.
wrong?
We are in a different
What if,
time right now.
You know what I mean? You
so
don't know if it's right or wrong.
all right, how about
The narrative
WR?
that's out.
White
We're
Lives
looking
Matter.
at where we were under McCarthyism, where we were under Jim Crow, where we were under
Right.
Andrew Jackson with the Native Americans. Like that's the kind of time we're looking at again. This is a different animal than
No,
like 1980s and 1990s corruption. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, like
Sure,
just
I agree.
like
But when I
said,
said,
like there's going to be
but when I
corruption
told
on
you,
both
when I said
sides.
White
It
Walkers,
doesn't
right? When I
excuse
said White Walkers,
Hey Jordan,
I'm
do you mind if we
comparing
let
the
J
government.
Mac chime in real quick?
Sorry,
Since,
sorry, Dad. I'm gonna mute. Go ahead, bro. I'm gonna mute real quick. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good, man. I was just going to say, look, yeah, there's corruption on both sides, but you cannot say, okay, well, then we're equal. And everything that he's doing is just part of it. And it's just another cycle. I mean, he's going after political opponents. He's going after people on TV that, that criticize him. It's fair to say that there's corruption on both sides and that there's a lot of good things that come out from both sides, but that does not make everything equal right now. And I know everybody
he
has
has
an opinion on it.
he has the right to go after the political James Comey. He has the right to go after Comey because
I can't
Comey spread
figure you
lies
out,
about
big
the
man.
Russian collusion with
What?
him.
I can't figure big man out right now. Anyway, go ahead,
Tony,
Jay.
I
World
was
are we living
going
in,
to
man?
ask
You
you though,
brought your
Tony. I mean,
political
you did have like a phase where you were doing Team Love, and
Yep.
I've seen you kind of go from that
I
phase.
still got the hats.
Yeah, yeah, and I see you kind of go from that phase to you're leaving the Democratic Party and stuff, and I'm cool with with Gavin Newsom what he's doing to troll Trump with giving him a taste of his own medicine, but that is something that
Newsom
I
is a
fear
piece of shit. So yeah,
that we
Hold
that
on,
we
no.
we fight fire with fire and we end up kind of and I kind of saw that a little bit in you, brother, to be honest. I saw that hey, we have to come back hit a little bit different, and there's this de-evolution that's happening in our country right now where
in California, dude, it's fucking ridiculous.
Dude, let him finish, man.
just in general, man, like we went from Bush to Palin, to now we have Trump and
Palin? Who's Palin?
Palin, the one that was running with John McCain, Sarah Palin. You kind of just have like we went from having these really smart people running the government, know what's going on in government, and then it's just kind of slowly getting into this muck of personalities, with people like Trump. And I think we need more of an enlightenment in this country. We need to not be. I don't think we should look at smart people that know what they're talking about as elitists. It may make some folks that aren't very.
Well, I don't look at smart people that know what they're talking about as elitists. I look at elitists as elitists. It's a big difference. There's plenty of smart people that know that they're talking about. I have a JD. I used to teach law school. I'm an academic, so I'm not like hating on people with knowledge. I'm hating on elitism, and like in our top universities, for instance, elitism is out of control. It's a virus. And so, like that's where I'm at. You can get just as good of an education, for instance, from say UCSD as you can from Harvard, and yet people from Harvard own 30% of our Senate and 20% of our House of Representatives, right? So, like, there's something going on there that has nothing to do with it. It's not like these professors are just teaching something completely different to these students, right? And most of these students are going into these universities because they have rich parents or because they were good at sports. So it's not like, now there are more sort of working class people that are getting into these universities, but it's still very low. And then in terms of like where I am, in terms of like the transition you've seen really comes from the transition in our country. So like, I'm still, I think it's I have a complicated definition of love. I think there are different times for different kinds of love. And when I started on this app, this was like right after 2020, right? We're talking like the country looked like it was moving in a direction of progress like it never had been before, right? I was working for an organization at the time, and we were like teaching these fair housing, trans classes, all kinds of stuff that we would have never done previously, and we can't do now. And so we were on this like tremendous progress train, right? And it looked like there was some frustration on the other side. And so even though the majority of the country was moving in this direction, I could see the frustration. And so I felt the need to tone down the temperature and try to bring these people in. Unfortunately, the backlash got very severe, and Democrats completely failed, lost all three branches of government because they're totally feckless and run the same candidate every time, basically. And so, 2024 was my last straw in that regard. That was when fascism won, when they won all four branches of government. Trump is now king. And so now I think we have to do something very different. I happen to be a follower of Jesus Christ myself. And I think that at times there's a time to flip the tables. And right now we're in sort of one of those flip the tables moments. We need an MLK or Gandhi, Mandela, you name it, right? Like, we don't need Gavin Newsom. That when in history has a politician, Gavin Newsom, carried us a nation against fascism or against authoritarianism. That doesn't happen, right?
Who
Like,
is it?
I build on the Democratic Party because I firmly believe that we have to start something new now, and it starts with the people that are high character and are willing to sacrifice everything. People that won't take any PAC money from foreign sources or corporate PAC money, like Mamdani and AOC and those people. So I'm very just narrowly focused on.
I 100% agree that we need new people, but you don't think that we need a new way of doing things? I mean, you literally have a mainstream media that everybody of like-minded people just talks to each other. I mean, if you okay, CNN, you know what I mean? But then we have independent media. That's why everybody turns to, mostly, in my opinion. It's like if you learn anything from history, when people only talk to like-minded folks, what happens? It's always war. That's why we always have war, because nobody can just be like, yo, at the end of the day, we're all getting gamed.
Well, but that's
So
that
the enemy of my enemy.
great in 2023, Jordan. In 2023, I'd be right
I
there.
know.
But we have lost the country to fascism. We are 1930s Germany. We're Hungary.
But what's going to happen? What's going to
you know,
happen when we keep dividing each other even more? That's what they
It's
want.
not about dividing right now. Right now, we're trying to fight fascism.
Here's my thing. The hypocrisy
Right now, we have
of
to
the
figure out the
hypocrisy.
effective way to fight back.
Did you not notice how they made Jimmy Kimmel seem like he was Joan of Arc or something? I mean, listen, if I go to my job,
Who
Jimmy
made
Kimmel,
Jimmy seem that way?
because remember he got fired, and then they paraded him around like he. I said, when did Jimmy
nothing
Kimmel
to
get
do with
arrested
Jimmy
and
Kimmel. It
tortured?
was the fact that he had freedom of speech.
Yeah,
Well,
Jordan, it
no,
wasn't
here you
about-
go.
It wasn't about
Here
like
you
we
go.
were
But no,
fans of-
that wasn't an infringement on his freedom of speech. Freedom of speech was
When the
made.
FCC
So if you
chairman
say
gives Disney an ultimatum that says, "Hey,
But no,
you
no,
take care of
freedom of
Jimmy,
speech.
or we're going to have to do some more work," then yeah, that is the
I mean,
government.
at the end of the day, I think it was all about the money. That's why he's back. But
You
freedom
don't
of
have any
speech
evidence
was
of that.
made.
You're just basing that on gut. That's
True.
not enough.
Well, that's what I'm just saying. I said that's my opinion. Freedom of speech
Your opinion
was
should be
made
based on
too.
facts. Your opinion should be based on facts.
Freedom of speech was made so you could say something and not get tortured or your head chopped off.
So if
Okay,
it was
if I go
about
into my
money, why
job,
did he get
Just
fired?
that.
if I go to my job tomorrow, and I can say whatever I want, I'm not
The
going to get
employer-
arrested.
I'm not talking
But that
about
doesn't
the
mean I'm going to
employer.
have my job. But it doesn't mean I'm
talking
not
about
going to have
the
my
employer
job.
Firing him. I know. I understand the employer can fire him if they want to. But that's not what I'm talking about. The chairman of the FCC gave ABC an ultimatum and said, "You either take Jimmy Kimmel off the air, or there's going to be more work for my employees at the FCC to try to take your license away." He said that on TV. That's the government
Well, how
saying
many-
it. It's not a private.
Is that
Well,
okay
listen,
with you, Jordan?
No, that's not okay. But how many times do you think that's the first time that's probably happened?
It's the
Realistically, come
first
on,
time it's
guys.
happened that severely. Yes, that is the first
I just
time in
think they're.
history
I just
it's happened that severely.
Jordan,
I
I mean,
just think these
when
people
was the other
nowadays are
time it
emboldened.
happened? When was the other time that it happened, Jordan?
I've seen so many people get canceled off of TV, from Roseanne to Bill Maher when he
Yeah, but they
said
were
And was
fired
it
what
by
he
from
said
was
about
because
the
the
whatchamacallit.
FCC
Okay.
because the chairman of the FCC said, "Hey, you better stop putting Roseanne on your network, or else."
Well, this is a different time now. We imagine. Look at how we're
But
talking
that's
and
the
look how we're
difference
living now
between it
compared to
being
that
an
back in that.
infringement on
Yeah,
on
freedom of
the.
the First Amendment is a protection against government action. It's not a protection against private business. I'm talking about government action. The FCC. Look, the FCC didn't take Roseanne off the air.
Exactly.
Well, listen,
They're
They
threatening.
popular
They're
tried to,
popular
they
threatening
tried
opinion.
to
FCC
go
to take
I
their
after
license
guarantee.
away.
they tried to go after hip hop artists in the '90s. That's for sure. But
I just felt like they were. I felt like they did what they always do when they take somebody off and then they think that they're wrong, and I mean think that they're right, and then they turn out their popular opinion is, oh
it's
shit, people
not
like
what
this
they always
motherfucker,
do. This
the
has never been
ratings,
That was
done.
and then they got
not
to
how.
put them back, and then they got to put them back. You
Jordan,
know,
that's
No,
never
that's
been
not
done.
how it
What
went.
happened?
Yeah,
you
Jordan,
know,
I think what you're
like
missing, Jordan, I think what you're missing is that it wasn't a fandom. It wasn't like we love him so much, bring him back because we care about him. I really
okay.
don't give a shit about Jimmy Kimmel. I just don't like that the president, if he doesn't like jokes being told about him, that he thinks he can just take people off the air. That's a third world country,
And
man.
meanwhile,
That's
you've
his
got
country.
Jesse Waters over on Fox News saying he wants to bomb the UN instant on the air. So it's like,
Mm.
what are we talking about here?
It's crazy.
So why did
It's
Ted
so
Cruz?
stupid.
There's a reason why Ted Cruz supported bringing back Jimmy Kimmel, because he knew that the FCC, they overstepped their bounds. They were totally wrong.
Yeah, I
Listen,
will
What do
say
you mean
this.
he's totally wrong?
The FCC threatening ABC with their
Oh, I thought Jordan
license.
said you were totally wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, no, kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier. I am also like using, like I won't vote for anybody that's taking APAC money anymore, which means there's very few left. I had a personal run-in with APAC myself that kind of derailed my career, and so I will never support a candidate that takes APAC or G Street or the Democratic Food Fund or the Republican Jewish Fund, but all Israeli lobbies. So I'm done with all that. So yeah, J-Mac, I am more radical now. I can't deny it.
I mean, any candidate, in my opinion, that doesn't go
I am very
follow
pro
the standard quo is going to get pew-pewed. That's what happens when you don't do that. When you don't follow the rules, something happens to you. It happens. I mean, Martin Luther King, freaking
Yeah,
Malcolm
we're
X,
a
John
dangerous
F.
country.
Kennedy.
Really
I
sad.
mean,
But we're looking at that time again now. That's the thing. We're back.
I agree.
And then we
I
throw
agree.
that on top of fascism, climate change, World War III, pandemics. Like that's where we're at right now. And then we have Trump
And
leading.
I hate to say it like a 1950s a TV show, but you know what really chaps my ass is the hypocrisy.
I'm not okay with October.
Just the hypocrisy. Just the hypocrisy from both sides. It's
Javier, you in
getting a
Israeli
little
class?
ridiculous.
Surprises me.
It's just like it's like everybody wants freedom of speech unless you don't agree with me. And I notice that both sides just want to shut both the sides down. So
You know,
y'all
Jordan,
both
I'm
doing
talking
the
about
same
you.
things.
I would
You're
agree with
talking
you,
about
Jordan.
cancel culture. I'm talking about freedom of
Mhm.
speech. Those are very different
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, Jordan.
I get you. I
If you had a Democratic president that was trying to take down somebody on Fox, or take down somebody else because you didn't like him, then I would say I agree with you, Jordan. That's hypocrisy.
Mhm.
But this kind of stuff has not happened before. This is not the same. This is not both sides do it. This is not, and you have to kind of realize what's going on. What's he actually doing? It's not just that we hate Trump because he's orange. It's what he's doing.
Well, quite honestly,
You
Jordan,
know,
I agree with you on.
I can
if we're going
I
over
can meet you. I can meet you guys in the middle to say I can understand what you mean. You know,
I
but
was gonna say,
I
like,
could also understand
I
that.
agree with
I
you
could
on
also
cancel
understand.
culture. I don't think Roseanne.
And I
don't
also
think any of
understand
them
that.
should get canceled
Right.
because I like seeing people. I like confronting them and knowing exactly what they think instead of them having to hide
Right.
it. Even if it is horrible, I want to see it up front. so that I can deal with it. That's the one thing I'm thankful for Trump for, is that he brought everything to the surface. So
And
I
you know
agree
what's
with
sad?
cancel culture, but that's not what we're talking about with Jimmy Kimmel. That's a whole different ballgame.
You know what the saddest thing is about this Charlie's death is not because of what he said. It's that he has rose up people like Charlie Ferrenta. I mean, not Charlie Ferrenta. Nick Ferrenta again. Nick Ferrenta was canceled, and now he's back.
Nick
He's back
Fuentes?
stronger than ever now. Nick
Talking about Nick
Fuentes,
Fuentes?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
he did.
he's back. He
like
is
doubled his
back,
followers, I think.
and he's doing his protest with freedom of speech by constantly saying the N word every show, every 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, he does worse than that. too.
And if that wouldn't happen, he wouldn't even have room for something like that. But now he's riling folks up, and I've noticed it because I like to pay attention
he's
to the other
soaking
side.
in the feeling of power because people are holding him responsible for the groypers, and so he's kind of feeling like, I think, a little emboldened right now. He's a scary dude, that is for sure. He is an absolute.
Oh, he's scary as shit. Oh, he's scary as shit. No doubt.
He makes
Because he's not a Trump
Kirk.
supporter.
He makes Charlie Kirk look like
Look like a saint. He make him look like a saint. It was like how people. I don't. You know what? I'm not even going to use that example. But yes, I agree exactly what you just said.
You're
Yeah,
acting
he's,
as
Like
one
I'm just like
example.
I just listened to this guy.
he's anti-Israel too,
on
but
a
he's actually anti-Semitic. I mean,
he's anti-Trump. He's anti-Israel. He's anti-blacks. He's anti-gays. He's he said the other day.
But he is
He
gay.
literally said that verbatim. Yeah. Right. I mean, it seems like he seems
No,
like
he
one.
actually is gay. That's
Oh,
so
he
that,
actually is gay.
yeah. That's one of the
Oh
reasons.
crap!
for
Like
this whole-
officially.
That's one of the reasons for this whole melding of like right wing and femboy culture that we're
That's
seeing.
so weird.
And,
Yo.
yeah, no, it's wild stuff. So like in that world, I'm just learning about it now, like we all are. So I'm not. Please don't. I'm not an expert on groypers. I'm too old for that. But it does seem like what we're seeing is sort of an anti-partisanship, dark world, Nick Fuentes land developing, and it's pretty terrifying.
I mean, he
They're-
just
they do
was
what's
on
called,
Candace Owens show, and he humiliated her.
Yeah, they do what's
Yo.
called they do this thing called transmaxing, and so like this world where there's hyper masculinity, and you try to fulfill this image of the perfect Chad, if you will, right? And if you can't fulfill that image, then you transmax and you become the opposite sex for your benefit, so that you can get more attractive girls, or you can get something of the sort like that. It's a really wild world. I'm diving more into it, but I have 2 boys, so I get worried about their futures. And
Listen, I have 2 boys too. I have 2 boys, 2 girls. Oldest is 17, youngest is 10, and I got 2 in the middle. Both.
it's a
So
terrifying world for those people.
I'm just like, okay, if that's who you are, that's who you are. But I don't want people to just like, I hate to use the term because people get offended when they say indoctrinate, but you can introduce things that somebody wouldn't else think. You know what I mean? Even if it's you straight, you could get introduced to nasty straight stuff.
It's not gonna make you.
that could just corrupt
I
you.
don't know, man.
You know what I mean? Like if you know what I mean.
I'm
You
skeptical
know what I mean?
of everything I just heard right there. I'm.
See, I said somebody was gonna get offended.
No, I'm not offended.
I mean-
I said I'm skeptical. I
Skeptical.
think what I just heard, what you were describing of that the guy who leads Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
Well, he's some kind of a gay homo who's leading all these other gay homos.
No,
Are
no,
you
he's
sure
leading,
that's what's going on there?
I don't want
think
to use
so.
that terminology, please. if you
I
don't
know.
mind.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. Yeah,
But
whatever.
yeah, he
Oh,
is. He
Perhaps
follows
he
in the
is that. But,
footsteps-
I mean, I don't think he's really.
He follows
think
in the
there's-
footsteps. Hey, Chester, let me finish it. He follows in the footsteps of Milo. Yeah, what's his name? It starts with a Y. Like
Yeah, the
Yana.
British guy, right? The British
That's
guy,
the
right?
guy that kind of
Yeah, the British gay guy.
really
Yeah,
started a lot of that stuff, and then it like evolved into other things and blah blah blah. Anyway, little mama, you want to take it away from me so I don't have to talk about that anymore?
Not sure what we're talking about, but I can pick up on it a little bit, I guess.
We were just talking about Groiperland and Fuentes World and all that kind of crazy stuff.
Talking about what?
You know, the Nick Fuentes World and his Groipers and
Yeah.
I can't imagine that that's what it's really all about, and that's
Just
really
listen to
it's
just listen to a
it's
few
just
clips.
it's one of many elements. It's one of many elements. That's
Uh,
why
He
that's
said
why
he,
it's
two
I don't
two
know.
days
shooter
ago,
that
that man
had
just said, "Can I say this one thing? Can I say this one thing?" This man said 2 days ago. I just couldn't believe that. I was like, okay, you know what I mean? Because I'm not the type that I'm like, listen, people throw shots. He said, listen, he said verbatim, black people. He said,
just don't
if
get my
you were to
wife.
vanish off the face of the earth tomorrow, he said, if you were to vanish off the earth tomorrow, he said, I guarantee you, America would just be that much better. Like people would have a better way of living. And he said that, and
Yeah, he's a
before
horrible.
that he was like, because he said I am the real N word, but just he says it. He says I'm the real N word out here. He said he said America's the N words of the world. I mean, he
Yeah, and
is
so
testing
something
the
like
freedom of
that
the
is more
speeches.
what I would expect out of this Nick
So
Fuentes
so
character. It's
so
not
yeah,
that he's
It's a
he's
lot
doing
of
like a
things,
freedom of
Chester.
speech.
It's a lot
He's
of
doing like
things.
a freedom of speech protest. You know, just to kind of be like, hey, this is freedom of speech. I can say whatever I want, type thing. And I just feel like if it wasn't for however that man got killed, you know, there's so many conspiracy theories going over right now. But he was canceled and he was done. Now he's getting bubbled back up to the top. And that clip that I told you had like 500
Well, it's
thousand likes
controversy,
or like
and that's
100,000
why
likes.
the
I was
right.
like, shit.
It's
I
because
was
it's
like,
controversy.
shit.
That's why the right has done so well among my generation. The controversy was on the left. It was people like Eminem and punk rock and stuff like that, right? So that's where like to be cool, that's where you went. And now that's not the case. You know, it's on the right. It's with people like that
Yeah.
that are much more dangerous.
And they
It's
argue Christianity. How do you feel about that? Because you said you was a Christian. And you know, even though
I
I
wouldn't
don't, I'm
describe
not
myself
an
as a Christian, but
okay, because even though like I'm not, I believe in a God, but I don't believe in the Abrahamic religions. So like, you know, the stories that were written by
it
man.
doesn't really bother
Because
me
I'm
that anybody else
skeptical.
believes. I'm not
Yeah. So, but
any faith I
you
have is
know,
personal.
I'm studying of the religions because I went to Catholic schools when I was young, and I mainly went to school with Irish Catholics and Italian Catholics, you know, on the East Coast, and
You
I'm
know what it
like,
is for me
oh,
is I
the
am
Bible
very much
sounds more
a
the Bible sounds more conservative than anything else, in my
well, the Old
opinion.
Testament, yeah. But
Like,
no, for me,
you know what I
it's more the
mean?
spirit of nonviolent resistance and self-sacrifice that all
Right.
started with the person of Jesus Christ, and so that's why I still admire it so much and sort of follow many of the philosophies. That also extended
Oh, you
throughout
have.
history through people like Gandhi and MLK and Mandela, and you know, there's a great line of nonviolent resistors, and it started with Jesus, and that's kind of why.
What about Henry David Thoreau?
I mean, that
Give
was
him any
much far after Jesus, but
Yeah.
give him any credit though, because both Gandhi and MLK Jr. both credited Henry David Thoreau for their peaceful nonviolence.
yeah,
So
they also credited Jesus. You know, so I mean, Gandhi's famous quote is, "What I like your Jesus, I don't like your Christians." He said, but
Mm,
uh, yeah, no, it's the spirit of nonviolent resistance is I think is something that whether you're a Christian or an atheist or whatever it is, that is something I think that we can all rally around. Unfortunately, though, we don't have
yeah, I mean,
anybody.
it works.
The only leaders right now
We see.
doing it are not Americans. Like we have Greta Thunberg, and we've got Mahmoud. What was his name? The Palestinian guy that got from Colombia. You know, so we've got people. They're just not American citizens. We got no leaders of American citizens yet doing that kind of nonviolent resistance.
Well,
And that's something we desperately. We have people doing it. I shouldn't say we don't have people doing it. We
yeah,
don't have
yeah,
anybody
yeah.
notable to garner the attention that we need doing it.
Now I'm in the conversation. Sorry, it took me a minute to see what you guys talk about, and for a quick second, I thought it was gonna be a CK live.
Nah.
There's
I mean, we talked
no.
briefly, but
Okay,
we just
cool,
run
cool.
over stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're more. We're just kind of. I mean, Jordan is. We were kind of talking about both sidesism and maybe some of the differences that we're experiencing now versus
Yeah.
the past and things like that. But I'm happy to go wherever you want.
Oh
So
no, I was just understanding, just checking it out. But
I think the
yeah, I
effectiveness
want
of
to address
nonviolent
Poppy. Poppy
resistance
is
has been.
clearly, if I can really quick, Poppy is clearly an Israeli bot. But I denounced October 7th and what Hamas did. Nobody, I don't know a single person that does it. But that's
right.
clearly we are far, far beyond that, right? Like we have the lowest estimates at 60,000 Palestinians dead, 30,000 kids, and 3 times that injured, and then all the displacement going on. But the numbers are probably more around 500,000. And then if you look at all the long term factors that they're going to have from the war and all the destruction and the chemicals going around, this is one of the most, I should say, one of the quickest, most efficient genocides in world history.
Yeah.
Not necessarily one of the largest because it's a small area, but
Hey Tony, do you think
No,
World
hey,
War
hold on
III
a
is
second.
inevitable?
No, Jordan, wait a second. Poppy's definitely not a bot. I know her very well on TikTok here. Chatted with her live lots of times.
you're just
So
trolling a little. So
I don't think she's trolling. I think that's just.
when
I
you
think
say that,
those
when
are
you
her
say
opinions.
when I said what I said, and then she said, "Oh, so you support October 7th?" So that's trolling. Obviously,
I
I didn't
mean,
say that.
maybe she might be arguing, and I don't even know if she's arguing in bad faith. I think she's making the best argument that she could
If you
on
tell me
behalf of
I'm
what
okay
she
with
really
October
believes.
7th when I never said such things, that's not in good faith.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I tried to correct that. I don't think she's necessarily arguing in good faith here. I think that she
Yeah, I
really
do want to backtrack. So you realize Netanyahu, by the way, is responsible for elevating Hamas. He did it
bring
because
her up.
he
Come on
wanted
up, Poppy.
a harsher enemy, so that he could get rid of this whole two-state solution business, and he has. And now he's hell bent on taking over the whole area and eliminating a people group. And so, yes, October 7th was horrible, just like September 11th was horrible, but that didn't give us the right to go take over a country. And we didn't even commit genocide, right? So it's a whole another level beyond that. So, anyway.
Hey Tony, do you think World War III is inevitable?
No, actually, and
Whether
there's
it's
kind of an interesting reason why. I think that there's this tripod right now of Trump, Putin, and Netanyahu, and Putin and Netanyahu are on the completely opposite sides of different interests. And China is sort of this like, um, hoverer above Putin, if you will, monitoring the whole situation, guiding the resistance, if you will. But I think that those competing interests may make it harder to have a World War III because you can't draw the line very easily, if that makes sense. What would you have? You'd have Europe versus uh, Russia and China versus
I saw
Israel,
this
the
I saw this
US.
I saw this yeah I just saw this documentary a long time ago, and it was this prediction about all the world wars in like the 1700s and who they were going to be started against, and the last one they said it was going to be started with the Middle East, and it's just it's hard. It's one thing, we can pray and everything, but it's one thing we know is that God ain't gonna stop the wars. That's up to us. And
Who's not
it's like
going to stop the wars this time?
we don't learn. It's like we don't learn from past history, but we got to keep it going. How you think we launder the money?
Who's not going to stop the
Industrial
wars?
comp. I mean, I feel like there's only one way as a
I didn't hear what you
collective
said. It's
if
not
we're
my
gonna really have them come to the table. Because at the end of the day, we're going to send you there to the hill and do our bidding. But at the end of the day, they're bought and paid for. I mean, you can't get to the top of the top of the tippity top. Even the highest
I'm not really
office
sure
in the
what you're
land, the
talking about,
president,
Jordan. Where are we at here?
you know. I know, I just went off. My bad for going on a
I'm
tangent.
trying to
That's
follow
my
you.
bad. That's my bad. I just went. I'm
I
just
think I get what
like,
you're saying though. Like the people who have
the ball's just rolling. Like, and it's like if we can't stop the ball unless the people stop the ball. And the only time the
yeah
people stop the ball is if we be like, hey, we can go back to being fighting about our social issues and what we hate about each other. But we got to put a pause right now because the enemy of my enemy and the enemy of all of us is those people that's take on the hill. That's it, in
Of
my
course.
opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, which is why I'm sort of like, people falsely call it purity politics. Purity politics is not purging corruption. Purity politics is people who are hell bent on one particular issue, and that's not where I am at all. We need people of high character that are willing to sacrifice themselves, even if it's only one or two. We just need to get those people into positions of power so they
And
can
we have to
lead.
protect the hell out of those people too, because
Yeah,
you.
So,
if we do get to
You gotta
2028,
protect
I'm pretty much fully behind AOC. Unless somebody else wows me.
Me
If we
too.
get that far, that's where I am. Uh,
Yes. Thank you, host.
them.
so
Agree.
as far as like having peaceful protest and having, one or two people stand up, I feel like so many of the people that I know are stuck in their jobs. Like they can't take time off to go protest really during the week. And wages have stayed low enough to where, even traveling on the weekends is very difficult, especially if it is something that would require like an overnight thing or
I got
um
4 jobs myself now. Keep forgetting.
it's I don't know. Um I had put in the comments earlier, like I live in a very rural area in the South. It's like 2 hours to drive to any like quote unquote major city, and the major city is like 75,000 people.
Mm.
So it's I don't know. I guess I hope that something happens that I agree that like that would be a great thing to see. It would be very inspiring, but I don't know. It's just so many of the people that I know are
Hope what
so worn
happens.
down already.
Hope what happens. Oh, are you there?
Oh yeah. So like I guess I don't know. Like this might just be my anxiety talking, but like what if that one or two people do come along and everybody else is so, stuck that like following and really giving that momentum doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's scary. Well, you also have a situation where that person, where authoritarianism can win against a person like that, like we saw with Alexei Navalny in Russia. So yeah, it is scary, but unfortunately, there's no other option because the only other option is total tyranny and complete subjugation of certain minority groups, right? Which is way worse than war, at least in my view. And so I
Right.
think we have to be willing to take those chances. Just recently I was at an event with my former boss. I used to work for Katie Porter, and I was at an event. And I had a confrontation with some neo Nazis that chased her into the parking lot, right?
Oh my
And
gosh.
like I ran down, chased him down, blocked him. We got her out of there. It was a close call. They got within like 20 feet of her, but we got her out, right? And it wasn't something that like on a normal basis I would have even expected to deal with, but it's not something that necessarily that my past self would have dealt with. But we're in a time now where we have to be willing to sacrifice ourselves. Those guys could have pulled a knife on me or something like that, right? But the risk is much greater because they could have gotten somebody that's relative importance. So we just have to be willing to put ourselves on the line, and it is very scary. I have comfort in that. I do believe that there's a life after this one, and so that gives me a little bit of comfort. I know that if you don't believe that, you're stronger than I am. But we do still need that kind of self-sacrifice, and we're not going to get anywhere without it. So, Gavin wants to be a hero. Go get yourself arrested. That's what every other nonviolent resistor has done in history. They've gotten themselves arrested. So if somebody wants to do it, doors open. They'll take
And you know,
anyone.
you know what you got to tell. You know what you got to tell the people. You got to tell the people that, man, no matter what, because here's the thing: we all got different values and different, belief systems and stuff like that. That's why we divided. That's why this is the great American experiment. And let's not prove the other countries wrong, and right now. But like,
it's over.
yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like it's like,
we have
you
to
know what I
build a new
mean.
thing.
But it's like, if we don't realize that we all, even though we got our different cultures and different things, we all do the same things. We all just want a better quality of living, easier. Whether if you rich or poor, we all just want
I think
that.
it's the majority of us.
You know what I mean?
Most of us do.
I feel like everybody just wants to go to this.
That are so broken that they're making life for the rest of us completely miserable. And so, most of us
everybody
are broken, but
we just want to go to the store and get some affordable juices and eggs and waters and meats. And we want to be able to, like,
some food, maybe go on a vacation a year. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, like
that's it.
And then like we be like, oh, we like at the end of the day, I think the government, the way the government does stuff is not very efficient. I mean, just even look how they doing that whole ICE stuff. That's not even efficient, even if you liked it or not. But how the hell? All right, so you're gonna take when my family talks to me, they're gonna take our rights, and I'm just like, you arguing about stuff that we already got, bro. I was like, what are they going to scoop? Are they going to take the rights from just the black people, or is it going to be the Asians too? Is it going to be the Puerto Ricans, or is it going to be the
Jordan? We're tangent.
And they can't. Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's like, if you want, how the hell is they going to scoop us all? This in this big old country. How the hell are they going to scoop us up?
You're so right. It's just like
that doesn't even make any sense to me. It's like you can't do that now. We spread all out. I mean, there's certain parts of this country that are still is no like how she said, she lives 75 miles to anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I live in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. People forget in Philadelphia you can drive 7 hours and still be in Pennsylvania. And we forget Pittsburgh is in Pennsylvania.
That's nothing compared to California, where I am, by the way.
Exactly, and nothing compared to California. The government too small for that. We the people. The people is more.
It takes about 16 hours to drive across our state.
That's crazy.
More. I think it's if you go down to Mexico, it's 18 hours. Yeah.
That's wild. That's the drive from Philadelphia to Miami, 18 hours. Yeah. But we all on the same coast.
I want to let Stephanie chime in though, so let's
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'm here. I'm just here to listen. I just chimed in. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Nothing to be sorry about.
I'm not a preacher.
Oh, you're good. You don't have to be. We're just like it says above here, right? This is a
skip the debate, join the discussion.
I can be intense at times when people are being racist or they're being, nuts. I'll get intense, but for the most part.
I guess I saw that and I was really curious about it because I guess in the best way I wasn't sure what it meant, which is a compliment. You know what I mean?
You mean this up here?
Yeah, because I don't know if you're this or that, which I think is beautiful.
Well, I think it's I
think I probably know who you are, but I don't. But sorry, go ahead.
Sure. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, one of the frustrating things is this like debate culture, and obviously Charlie Kirk's one of them. But we see a lot of these like left wing types like Parker or any of these Dean, and they don't let anybody talk. Right? It's just like this shouting match back and forth, trying to get the next point in or whatever, trying to score points. And I don't know where they learned that from. I don't know if it's just like Trump culture, so they don't know anything prior to that.
Yeah.
But it's terrible. It's maybe entertaining, but that's it, right?
So you said like Trump. You said Trump culture? Is that what you said?
Well, Trump might have created that. Might have started that.
Okay, gotcha.
Crazy debate, intense culture, because like a lot of these kids don't remember politics before him.
Hmm.
And so if the Trump debates were the first debates you saw, you have a pretty skewed opinion of what a debate should be
I
like,
think I
right?
might be, I'm sorry, I might be a little bit older than y'all. So unfortunately,
I don't
I
know.
think
Well, how old are you?
I'm like 52. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
40. I'm not super young, but
So yeah, I think I do. I remember some more debates, but okay, sorry. I mean,
that's
I'm
what
just
no, that's my point. I'm saying that like these kids that are on here debating, they don't remember that. You and I remember what it
yeah.
used to be like. They don't. They think it Trump
Where it
politics
was, it's
is all
like it's
politics.
reciprocal. It's like it's gentlemanly, or it's just nice. Like you just like it's supposed to be just debate, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, and more, it should be more discussion. I get there are tense times in this, but I
Of
don't like
course.
it. I usually that person ends up usually getting booted eventually because they say something
Yeah,
personal
not
or
that.
whatever. I have a ton of right wing people on here all the time that I just love talking to. Yeah, we disagree with each other 99% of the time, but
Yeah,
um, like at least we can have that discussion, and we do need to be able to do that again. That's for sure.
yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely, 100%. I mean, I don't. I'm like I'm a libertarian, so I'm just like in the middle.
that's what I used to be. So I still have libertarian tendencies, but I'm not quite anymore. Social welfare programs are different for me now, but I still don't want any foreign wars. I still am actually generally for more open borders, which libertarians are for. I'm generally for
Okay, so
sort of like
can I
yeah.
just out of like pure curiosity, who is for a foreign war?
Well, in terms of like hawks and neocons, they sort of
What
have this
what's a
peace.
hawk?
So hawks are basically like peace through strength kind of people that, like Ronald Reagan types, right? That believe in a very large military presence around the world in order to keep the peace so that we can control the peace around the world, right?
Okay,
I do
okay,
not
I
believe
got
that at
you.
all. So I personally think that we should close probably 75% of our bases around the world. So
The world. So like bring it all back home and like just keep it here.
yeah, and take that money and give these
Yeah.
troops good
I
health
mean, I'm
care
I'm
and
not
good
against. I mean,
pensions.
I'm not against that.
I agree with that too. I agree with that
I'm
too. But
pulling
keep
in.
our
I'm
spies
pulling
over
in.
there. Keep our spies over there.
Well,
I'm. I
spies need to
agree.
act better though, because historically our spies have been horrible and caused complete mayhem in places like South America. So I don't know.
The
True, true,
military
true,
is
They're
such
true.
a
not
So
better
large
today.
so
employer.
what do y'all think about? I mean, so you talked about the border thing. So I mean, I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, that was just in terms of like libertarian, my libertarian
Yes, yes, yes. We're talking about
leanings
libertarian.
still. Yeah, I generally believe that commerce should be the
So how does that work? How should that work? I
indicator.
guess that's the question. How?
So
Because
I
obviously
would have
people
very
want to come here, and that's fair for
Mhm.
them to want to, right?
Yeah. So I would
So
have very low cost immigrant visa options. Right now, the costs are astronomical, and then I would hire a ton
what do you
more.
mean? So they've got to pay money to get here?
Yeah, so like a typical immigrant visa, just the application alone can cost you like $600 or $700,
If you
and
want
then
to
on
be a
top
refugee, there's no like kind of refugee status for that.
there is, but you still have to pay. And so like people that are from some of these war torn countries, that's pretty prohibitive, right? Like that's like a year's salary in some of these places. Um,
Okay.
and so I would lower the cost. I would hire more immigration judges and administrators so they can process applications quicker. Um, and then I would sort of streamline the process at the border so people can come across much more quickly. And I think that like when you make it easier, you encourage people to do it the right way and not have to like cross the border illegally. And so you'd be tracking people. You would know that they're in
So
the country.
you
So
do believe in tracking people that to make sure they're not nefarious
yeah, but we can't do that when they're it's
when they're just
prohibited.
jumping
For
across,
instance, right now
and they're
we
yeah
don't even
when
have the
they're
lottery anymore, and they
what
ended most
what was
family
that?
visas. So the lottery was the only way you could be a U.S. citizen without having some sort of connection to family or workplace or something like that. And they got rid of that. And they also got rid of family visas for siblings. So you can only do family visas now for parents and for children. And so the ways to get into this country, it's not like when my great grandma came here through Ellis Island and signed a paper, got a quick physical, and she was in, right?
Right.
And we still have that documented today. You can still find her signature, but it's not like that anymore. So,
I hear you. I hear you. I'm listening. Sorry.
oh, you're fine. You're fine. Mama, did you say something? Do you want to chime in down there? Thought I heard you say
Oh,
something.
well, I was just gonna chime in when y'all were talking about the military bases and bringing everything home. I mean, my stance is like I also am not a fan of foreign wars. Um, I'm I was I was in elementary school when the war on terror started. So that was like the majority of what I remember of my childhood. The news started every night. Talking about the troops overseas.
You missed the days of
Um,
old airports. It was a beautiful thing.
no, I actually I did get to fly once. I was really little, and my grandfather sold insurance or something. So we went to so we lived in Texas at the time, and we flew to Banff. Like that was the insurance trip that he went. So I did get to go one time, but I don't remember the airport part.
I so miss
So
waving people off and greeting people at the gate, and I miss that.
that's crazy. I mean, like I've seen it in movies.
I think we
um
could still do it. I think all this is useless. That's another libertarian in me, is it taking down the surveillance state. But I don't want to. You go. Your turn.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it would be really cool, since the military is such a large employer and since it is such a good avenue, for kids who, are not ready to commit necessarily to a career path or to continuing school after high school. I think it would be really neat to see something like the AmeriCorps expanded to have some more like public works going on, to maybe help low income people replace their windows or something to like help these young people learn some skills and help them kind of figure out what it is that they do want to do, what does interest them, and
Totally.
also be in service.
Yeah,
I
we
think
actually
that'd be
did.
cool.
Gavin, one of the. I'll give Gavin credit when he does something good. He just started something like that in California, where he's going to be hiring. Well, not hiring. I think it's a volunteer corps, but young men to be doing infrastructure projects and working with nonprofit organizations and stuff like that to kind of like get them involved, to get them working. Yeah, yeah, I would veer more towards definitely, because I don't like them having to fight wars. So yeah, if it's infrastructure projects or even the Peace Corps, expanding the Peace Corps somehow, like those types of things. Yeah, absolutely. We should definitely get these young guys that are bashing their head against walls involved in things like that.
With
I
all due respect, my people's youth ain't doing that. Too much. It's too much social media. It's too much examples of people getting fast money. And from living on the East Coast and raising Philadelphia myself,
Well, I
I've
think you should
managed
get paid. I
to,
think you'd have to get paid.
I've managed to rear my kids in a certain direction, which set them up for success. But um, who said ain't no hope for the youth, and the truth is, ain't no hope for the future. These kids are. I mean, you see them with hoodies on and ski masks and black sweatpants on in the summertime, and you ask why. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't mean, if demons doing the devil's work don't feel heat, and I don't know. And the things that I've seen and the videos that I've seen, that are, thank God I live in a college area. I live in a university city section, so that's the Penn. Have you heard of Penn College, Penn University? That's
Mhm.
the section of the city I live in. So,
Yeah.
but if you just go a couple blocks in that direction, couple blocks in that direction, you know, all those kids got the pew pews with, the switches that are just illegal. So I just don't know. I don't see the youth who's grown up in
But I think
poverty
that's what
and
Mama's problem.
sees one way doing
I think
that.
that's what she was saying though, Jordan, was that she wants to get those kids paid and involved in something productive.
Yeah, but they're not. I'm saying the money that you would expect that we know from our generation that we worked hard. I'm an '88 baby, so I'm 3 years behind you.
Yeah.
I think I'm one of the last generation.
Oop. Did we lose him? Jordan, you there? Uh-oh. Connection problems. All right. Well, I got to get out of here.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. There you are. I do have to get out of here.
No, my bad.
I'm going to go ahead and end the live now, but I appreciate you guys. Yeah.